Born in 1452 in the Tuscan hill town of Vinci, Leonardo grew up as the illegitimate son of a notary, a legal status that closed the doors of formal university education to him. That exclusion may have shaped his entire way of thinking. With no allegiance to scholastic tradition, he turned to direct observation as his method, filling notebook after notebook in his distinctive mirror script with questions drawn from rivers, birds, and cadavers. By the time he entered the Florence workshop of the artist Verrocchio in the 1460s, he was already treating painting not as a craft, but as a form of applied natural philosophy. Florence in those decades was a city where wealthy merchant families competed to sponsor artists and thinkers, and that patronage economy gave Leonardo the rare freedom to follow curiosity across disciplines that had no common name yet. Leonardo produced roughly 30 paintings that survive today, far fewer than many of his contemporaries, partly because he spent enormous stretches of his working life on projects that were never finished or never built. His anatomical studies, conducted on more than 30 human bodies by his own account, were so advanced that they anticipate observations later credited to 16th and 17th century physicians. Yet he never published them, and they circulated only in fragments after his death in 1519. This gap between discovery and dissemination is the central paradox of his legacy, a mind that could see across centuries, operating inside an information system that moved by hand-copied manuscript. What the Renaissance gave Leonardo was permission to ask any question. What it could not give him was a reliable way to make the answers matter to anyone beyond the handful of patrons and pupils who briefly held his notebooks.